Welcome to Crypto OGs.
Welcome to Crypto OGs. We are here from Singapore, Token 2049, and we are here with Takashi Hayashida, that is the founder and managing partner of Taisu Ventures. Thank you so much for coming to our podcast.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being the first guest in Singapore. So Takashi, let's start with, you've been in the space for a long time, but let's start with your journey in crypto. How long have you been in crypto for?
I think around 6 years now.
6 years now. Okay, and how was the first involvement? Like how much was the Bitcoin price when you started?
I think the first experience for me is to try to help out the investment side of the business, since I've been working in investment banking and trading world for more than 10 years. And I've been helping a lot of crypto companies who's investing to other crypto businesses or crypto startups who's trying to raise funds. So I've been involved a little bit more on the financial side of the business back in 2017.
Okay. Yeah. Takashi, and you have a very long experience in banking and Web3. And now, 2024, what are the big trends that you are looking when you are looking to projects to invest in blockchain Web3? What is that big trend right now?
I would say it's there are different spaces that I'm focusing right now to look for investments opportunities. The first one I would say is tokenization RWA space.
Okay.
Because of the fact that there have been several countries in the world, including Japan, where I'm originally from, who give more opportunities by giving a more clear regulations around how to deal with the token.
Yeah.
In terms of from the financial framework perspective, as well as tax regime perspective.
Okay, yeah. By the way, I've been recently in Japan. I found the culture amazing, but also they're adopting blockchain and Web3 in a fast pace. And I've seen also that there's been a couple of changes within the tax that's going to help the Japanese to get more on board. I'm talking about Japan is a country that is huge in investment also for real estate and for other, you have the biggest factories in the world in technology. But let's talk about real world assets, because I know you guys have been focused also on real world assets. What are your views into real world assets, and is there any project that you have been investing into real world assets, or is more projects coming on your portfolio?
So we've been looking at for a long time, but we started our investment in tokenization business from Singapore and Hong Kong based startups first, because of the fact that there's been a more startup founders friendly background from the legal perspective in those two countries. So we've been investing in exchanges and also tokenized assets originators based in both Singapore and Hong Kong, and we would be looking for to invest in Japan, since a lot of the founders are going back to Japan and trying to build new business model around the tokenization, which is very exciting for our firm and for everybody in the space.
And now let's talk about numbers, because the global tokenization market reached nearly $3 billion in 2023. What are your projections for market growth by 2030? Basically, within 6 years. And is real world asset really accomplishing its promise, what it's coming to bring to the market?
I would say that I think the market growth would be significant for a lot of countries, but although the real market size would be highly dependent on the each country's regulations. So I wouldn't set a number, but at least we will have 10 times growth during the next 5 years for sure.
Okay, that's
and so we would be looking at looking out for opportunities not only here in Asia but also in Europe, where there's an implementation of the new law around the stable coin, and hopefully some new regulation come into place with the new government in the United States as well.
Regulation is very important. I've seen so many companies that are assigning 1/3 of the raising of the capital into compliance and regulation. What are your views as an investor when a project comes to you and I say, look, we want to build the technology, we want to build the team, but what part of compliance and regulations do you focus in the project? Like how much in percentage?
I think when you're in tokenization space, I would say that you would need to focus over 50% of your time in compliance and to deal with the regulators.
Okay.
Because most often, probably like the case we've seen in Japan, the regulators would tell you what would be acceptable, what would be not acceptable. And that comes after probably 6 months long or sometimes a year long kind of a conversation and discussion you would have with them. For just an example, we've seen great tokenization business model around the commodities like gold in Japan. But this could have this was realized based on a lot of people efforts by talking to Japanese FSA, who gave a green light with some requirements to meet in terms of the chain infrastructure. So before you build your product or you choose the chain you would want to build your product on, always discuss with the regulators, which may not work with every country, but would be some
with the main countries.
Yes.
Okay, so compliance is a must, but there's also a challenge. That liquidity and composability remain challenges in the real world assets tokenization. Do you think in the future, or what solutions or innovation will be crucial in addressing these issues and driving wider adoption? Because liquidity is not there yet. What will be, for example, from your experience, your opinion, it will help the adoption if we have more liquidity? How we get more liquidity into real world assets?
I think so. There are actually two ways. A lot of people are trying to get liquidity from the real world space, like traditional finance space, to bring liquidity on chain to the Web3 side. But let's not forget that there's so much money on chain that are locked into different foundations or different chains that would be available to take in to start a business. So maybe you may focus not only the Web2 or traditional finance side, but you would want to focus on the also on the Web3 side whenever you start a business, so that you would have the ability to take in the money from both of the world. So you don't need to limit whether your customers would be from the Web3 side or the traditional finance side, because you don't know who would be your best fit investors.
Okay, and obviously you've been you're a crypto G now, more than 6 years in the space. But from the investment point of view, with Taisu Ventures, what recommendation would you give to a project? There are people that are just getting started, or they're just raising funds, the seed round. What recommendation would you give them to prepare to come, for example, to speak to a VC or institutional investment, so they are ready? What is that piece of advice? Because I think so you probably go through a lot of due diligence before they talk to you. But what is that one or two pieces of advice that would you give somebody so they are ready and it will be easier for them to receive injection of capital in their project?
So first of all, as a venture capital, we always look at founders. So we want to make sure that the founder has a good team, so that you can execute your business plan, and also you can also have a chance to pivot your business model if it doesn't, in case it doesn't work, because most of the cases great ideas wouldn't work on the in the same way that during the first 12 months. You're going to have to pivot one or a couple times before you reach the product market fit in the space. So this would be the number one thing. The other thing is to look at always a scalable kind of area. If there's really a great invention, but if you can't scale it, any venture capital wouldn't invest, because venture capital need to aim 5 to 10x, not just 10% or 20% of growth.
Especially in crypto, it's not like the old. So now comparing that based on your experience in the traditional finance, how much or percentage was compared, between blockchain, crypto, and traditional finance, so people understand? For example, in traditional finance, a good investment return, how much it will be, like 2-3x compared to crypto?
I think overall, we as a firm, we still aim between 5x to 10x.
Oh wow, okay.
But given we're still in the emerging technology space, where the survival rate of each of the startups tend to be a little bit lower than other market, I would recommend to think of any market, any area of the business where the growth can be greater than 10x in the foreseeable future, like 3 to 5 years at least.
Okay. Takashi, on your personal opinion, let's take the VC and the Taisu Ventures outside. On your personal opinion, how do you see the market growing next year? And especially, obviously, we have artificial intelligence, real world assets. There's so many development, but we saw, for example, the last 6 months, meme tokens driving the whole liquidity or the whole ecosystem. What are your approach, or what are your thoughts about the market within the last 4 months of the year and the next year? Do you think we'll have a bull market, or we have to wait a couple of more years to have a good impact, also based on your point in the traditional finance?
From the probably macro economy perspective, they shouldn't be a big hurdle for the market to go further up. But having said that, there are several key catalyst events that's ahead of us, which is of course the U.S. election. And a lot of the sentiment would highly dependent on the approach that the U.S. government will be taking towards crypto for sure, and also as well as some regulation implementation in Europe called the MiCA law, which will be about the implementation of the stablecoin. But having said that, I think the market have been waiting for so long to get out of those difficult moments occurred during the past 24 or 36 months, starting from the collapse of FTX and other scandals with some of the bad actors in the market. So I would say that I think there's still room to grow from the macro perspective, and it's now the question is more about the timing. Whether if the election becomes more pro crypto, maybe might happen sooner. But even with the government will be less pro crypto. End of the day, I believe that US have been embracing all the new technologies in the right way, and we believe that on a global scale, you will have much less regulatory headwinds, which should enable the market to keep up the pace of the growth that we used to have before the crypto winter.
Amazing. Takashi, and obviously we're in Singapore, we have Token 2049. We've seen that Asia is being the #1 actor into the crypto space since the beginning, right? You are enhancing the whole ecosystem, and then we have, for example, India and Pakistan. They're very good at doing the developer. So we have, for example, layer 1 like Polygon. They're full powered by for the people from India and Pakistan. Kazakhstan, and then we have, for example, Russian-speaking countries, like Russia, Kazakhstan, Ukraine. They are driving also the marketing side. In your opinion, if you have to go to another market that not Asia, where would you go? If you have to build either from the investment side or from the community side, what region would you choose that you see there's a potential within the next 5-10 years?
I think it might depend on the type of the business model, but if I were to build a tech-driven startup, maybe Eastern Europe could be the good location to go. Otherwise, in terms of the DeFi or any fintech business model, I would probably go to Latin America. There's still really good market to grow, given the still a challenging environment within the traditional financial institutions.
It is. Well, I invite you to Latin America. Have you been anywhere?
I've never been personally, but we have great portfolio companies that.
We invite you to Colombia.
Officially. It'd be great to get there, because since we have invested in some project there, we're still looking at to explore more, because we believe that still Latin America will have probably the biggest mass adoption after probably the developed nations like U.S., Japan, or here in Singapore. And I think Latin America should embrace the mass adoption probably sooner than Africa, for example.
I'm happy to hear that, especially in Latin America. Takashi, how people can connect with you through LinkedIn if you want to reach out, or if there is a project that's an early stage and then want to reach out to be considered to have your investment firm too?
LinkedIn always reachable LinkedIn, and then if it's a project, I always encourage people to post things on our website, because we have an investment team who's looking at the website every day and who sort out all the deals one by one.
Amazing. I have 3 more questions, very quick. Based on your personal opinion, nothing to do with the investment firm, Bitcoin or Ethereum, what would you choose?
Bitcoin for this year.
Staking or mining?
Staking.
Centralized exchange or decentralized exchange?
Centralized for the next in the near term,
because of the regulations.
Yes.
Takashi, thank you so much for coming to Crypto Years, and we're very, very happy to have you here. And I hope that everybody in the audience have enjoyed the experience and wisdom of Takashi. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Thank you.